very good afternoon to you, good morning, whatever time you're listening to this podcast. I want to really appreciate you for tuning in, for liking, for really subscribing onto this channel. So this is the Freeride podcast. Today I've got a very special guest, and she's an amazing woman. She does an amazing mom. She's a businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur. She's a hustler. So I'm so excited to speak about, her life and what she's gone through and being a mom. And I think her story inspired me because being a mom, raising a son, and I've also been raised by a single mom. So there's a lot that I can relate with her. So I want her to share her story with us. So big ups and thank you to everybody who keeps liking, sharing. I really appreciate it. We've grown almost 200% on YouTube. We've grown 5,000% on TikTok. Listen, TikTok, you guys are amazing, man. You guys are loving my content and I really appreciate it. So we're going to continue to bring you people that are going to be able to share some really good stuff. So without taking up much time, Os Memory, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me, brother man.
Yo, I'm so excited to speak to you, man.
Yeah, I'm also excited. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Talking about coincidence. Is it a coincidence or is it what, a blessing or whatever that is?
There's been so much coincidence.
Alignment.
Even before we even started the show, there was something else. Like
exactly.
A meeting you were in, the meeting I was in. There was like so much alignment there.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
welcome
amazing.
to the Freeride podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so happy.
I'm really excited.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Let's get straight into it and introduce you to everyone. Because our viewers are pretty much from all over the country, all over the world. So, Os Memory Kima.
Isa. Look, very simple lady from Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
Known as Gagisanong,
Okay.
but as Rocklands.
Rocklands.
Yes.
Okay.
Born and bred from Bloemfontein. Started my primary there. I went to Tabanchu for my middle school and my high school. That was under the then Buputa Botswana. Can you believe what I sang a different song? Yeah! I sang Le Yeah, it's my national anthem.
Nice.
I promise you. So I come from a very humble family. An average one. Where everything was provided for me, honestly. I've stayed with my I'm raised by my grandmother, who was very strict. She was very strict, and my mother as well was very strict. So you can imagine both grandmother and mom strict. There's no way you can be out of the way.
And they passed it on to you.
Oh, come on! Now are you doing this to me?
No, not yet.
They did.
Okay.
They did. Obviously, otherwise I couldn't have survived. We couldn't have been where we are with my son.
Yeah.
If I didn't inherit.
Yeah.
If they didn't pass all those qualities to me.
But it works, eh?
It did. It
works,
did.
Eh?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Look, I have two siblings, right? My sister and my brother. So all of us, we were like
close.
We were close, and we lived by the same. They practiced the same things to us. There was no favorite as far as I'm concerned. You know, my father never put his hand on us.
Oh.
It's my mom.
What?
Yes, dude. She would look at you like, our kids don't know the eyes.
No,
you know the eyes?
Yeah.
She had those eyes where you will like straighten up. Bona, onamo. Come out, fell. Aksa bua go trap.
My mom was the same. Yo.
So yeah, that was how I was brought up. And my mom was okay academically. My grandmother, she was the one who, it was an A+ all the way.
Oh.
If not, anything above or below 70, you failed in her eyes. Even 70, you failed.
What? Were they
Yes,
teachers by profession or in educational sector?
My grandma was not, but she had when she grew up, she was a killer. You know those scouts and girl guides and all that. You know how discipline again, they discipline.
Disciplinarians.
Exactly. So with her it was just like that. I come from my primary to from standard 1. Ke bua ka di standard 1. I'm sorry I didn't do the grades and all that. So I don't want to mix that.
Kids, you still try to align them.
So from standard 1 to standard 5, all she could take from me was like 1. If I came with position 2 or 3, I failed. I promise you.
What?
Yes. So when I got to what is it?
Matric.
Middle school. Middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when, and maths was her thing. That's when she was like, so I used, you become creative with the truth. Because I traveled for like 6 months, 64 kilometers to and from to school. Yes, I was a day scholar before I became a boarder. I was accepted in a boarding school. So I was in a boarding school. So I traveled, and I would say I was tired. For me, if I get anything less than what we agreed on, because she gave me, she kind of like loosen up, to say you can do 70. 70 is a fail, but you have to stay with 80. Okay, so anything that was 70, it was like, the traveling, wake up early and all those things. So that's how I was raised. And I matriculated at Morocco, and I went back to stay with her.
Morocco. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Morocco High School. That's where I matriculated.
Oh wow. Yeah. Which year did you matriculate?
1995.
Oh wow.
I'm old, eh?
Yes.
Still with my.
You don't even look it.
I know. The jeans, Baba. The jeans. Wow. And taking care of yourself, not using substances, and all those things. I know. I know.
And then where to from matric?
I went to Technical Free State. It's called CAT now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did. Information technology. Guess what? My mother wanted me to be a teacher, and I'm like, a teacher, I'm gonna kill other people's kids.
Yeah.
Because for me, black and white, like 1 is 1, 2 and 2 is 2. It's just like that. I give I was like, yeah. So I was more in my block. I was the only girl. So there was a guy who I used to play with, so he would bring his friends, and then I was the only chick. Look, so with that, I wamona mutatlo shashara. So
and utlwa le reng a sia machitora.
Wa ntlhaloganya. So
mutatlo shasha o khona mona from fair.
Bona go re iblaneng wa bona ba tla tlo mfasa teng if it was even worse. I'm like butle pele. Ska ra dirana ya. So that's the reason why I can befriend a lot of guys. I've got a lot of guys. I actually connect with guys more than ladies.
Why is that though?
I don't know. I think it's my bringing up, because I played with guys. They are not complicated. Okay. I find women, when you say something, sometimes they can be very, women are very soft to some degree.
So they blow things out of proportion.
And the next thing it will be like, when you said this to that, and then it's a fight, people don't talk anymore. So I'm not like that. With giants, with guys, it's like, Emma, I didn't like the way you spoke to me. I'm sorry. And then, otherwise, if there's no sorry, different. So with girls, it can prolong, and it gets other people involved as well. So that's why I don't even now.
You found it quite difficult. And then so how far that so go
college? I got a job, got leaks. I started
got leaks.
Got leaks, and guess what? My grandfather sent me to town. He wanted fish and chips. I grilled pension. So on Roma mole, to go panelemo to Mozileng or about to go got leaks. I'm like, hey, let's get December. Like, hey, I went there. I was told that the manager is not there. I'm like, when is she coming back? They're like, after 3, and now we're looking at 1. Like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna go home. Staying here in town, you know, Rwandi Sanako. 3:00 came. I went to see her. She gave me the form, the last form that she had, right?
What?
The last form that she had. Went home. Went to buy. I went to get whatever that my grandfather asked for. Got home, filled in the document and all that. The following day, I took them back. And she was not there, right? She was not there, and I gave it to her assistant. She then, what happened? Oh, they called me along with others for training, and that's how I got accepted and I started there.
Yeah.
When I think 2 months into the thing, ho opposition ya Lotto. Utingo.
Oh. Yes.
I was one of the first.
What?
Yeah, I was one of the first employees.
Oh.
That go to Bloemfontein because they had an office go Bloemfontein.
Oh.
Yes. So that, you know, I remember I said to you, for me, I still got in everything that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. So I was meant to be off on the following day.
Okay.
Right? I think it was on Tuesday, meant to be off on Wednesday. And my manager came to me and said, no, I want you to work and be off on Thursday. I'm like, okay, cool. I did that. Thursday morning, no, Wednesday evening, in afternoon, I got a call while I was working, right? I got a call to say, Memory, you have a phone call. Went to the call. Are you Memory? Yes. Remember, I applied for the job. Are you Memory? Yes, I am Memory. Okay, we want to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow for what? Interview. I'm like, huh? Interview? Yes. Oh, okay, cool. I went. I accepted. The day, on Thursday, it rained. And my father is at work. Nobody to take me to this interview. I had to wear my jeans. Remember tomboy situation? My jeans, sneakers, cap. I was always in a cap. Everybody who knows Memory, actually Fila. That's how they know me. I wait in Fila by Toram, Jidolo, Julaka, sneaker, cap. I'm into those things. I had to pack whatever that I was gonna go interview in a bag. Did that in a taxi, got into the mall, changed into proper stuff. Got in there. The lady who interviewed me, she was from Ireland. She was going to be my director. So we're talking, she asked me, how did I come here? Like, it's raining. And I'm like, I tell the stories like, you are hired. I'm like, no, she's joking. I didn't believe it. And the reason why she said that to me is because the efforts that I took, to get to that interview.
Or you wanted it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why she said I was hired. But I also did well in the interview. So I think that she liked me from that interview. Yeah. So, I got accepted. The offer, 1st of December 1999, I came to Joburg for my training for 6 months.
Oh, that was your first time to Joburg?
That was the first time to
99.
Joburg. 99.
Oh, wow.
In a plane. That was the first time in a plane.
You came in a plane.
I was not taking camera. With the late Elna, who was my manager at that time. Oh. She had a white hair here, like a natural black and white, whatever thing. Yeah. And my parents, my grandmother, everybody accompanied me to the airport. And
no, they
didn't. They were clever, man. They were not like that. Actually, by then, my grandmother had
already been.
No, she was. I took her. No, she hasn't been.
Okay.
So, my mother started crying. I'm like, Musadi, no, you're coming there for the first time. Who's gonna take? I'm like, like, who does what you do, Queen? My grandmother's like happy, she's fine. My mother's crying. I'm like, actually, let's not do that. Anyways, we got introduced to Elna, and she promised that she'll take care of me. And that's what she did. May her soul rest in peace. Yeah, that's what she did.
And you were here for how long?
I was here for 6 months. right?
Oh.
I was
So
here
where
for
did you
6
stay?
months. I stayed, what
Fancy
like,
place.
what are you playing?
Somewhere else.
Sandton.
No.
Yes, I stayed in Sandton. Not far from McDonald's.
Oh.
Yes, actually, great. Not far from Grayson Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, because we worked at SABC. So going to Sandton was like 5 minutes from where we stayed.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when everything
What an
started
experience.
from. It was, and guess what? Everybody who was in top position, they were from overseas, right? They were all from Ireland, USA, you name them.
Yeah.
All these places where they ran, they had where they had
Yes.
where they had lotto. So we
Yeah.
had people from USA, UK, Ireland, about all these places, and I was the only one, the youngest of the group. You don't know. Look, my director, the one who said she liked me, her husband was like they didn't have a child then, so he saw me as, you know,
A child. Yeah.
I used for each and everything, the milestone that we reached, we celebrated.
Wow.
I promise you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look, that for me it was the best experience ever because
How's that for God, eh?
It was, and
oh, my word.
yeah, that's when I got to taste a lot of things. Then I was not drinking.
Yeah.
They made me taste all these things.
Yeah,
like the wine.
prawn, fancy stuff.
That's when I realized prawn is not my thing. No, there's this thing that is like happening, and I always wanna, you know. Yeah. So no, prawn is not my thing. But yeah, all these fancy things, the fancy life, I experienced. Exactly.
Sure. So what made you leave the lottery? What did you do there?
I was at the data center, so we were doing the backups. We were. Oh, you know what? So what I was doing when I get it as a show, right? The show, it happens there, the live show.
Oh yes.
So they will send the numbers to us, and then we capture them. So the machine, there was algorithm or stuff, you know, the development, whatever
information technology.
Exactly. So all we needed to do was just to punch in the numbers, and then the algorithm will run, you know, count whoever played what, divide the monies, and we know, okay, cool, this time there is no jackpot winner. So we take it from there, we send it to the auditors. Remember, there's an auditor at the show.
The independent
we had the auditors as well. We had the auditors as well in the data center. They audit what?
You guys or
yes, they audit the numbers for the sharpener, but it's in the sharp. They are captured as they appear on the TV. They send it to us. When we capture them, the day of the lotto, they are there as well. They verify that everything. Remember, there's a checklist. It's not like there's a whole lot of things that are happening. Checklist, and it happens set time. So you can't just at 2:00 and then you do whatever that you want to do. There's a checklist that one needs to follow.
But do you play the lotto?
Yeah. Guess what? There's nothing. No, you do. I did even better. Let me tell you this. One day I came from work tired like there's no tomorrow. It was a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a Saturday. Tired. It was so hot. So what I prefer to do, even I do today, is when I come from work, when it's winter, I'll change into my gown just to freshen up. Before I freshen up, just to cool down.
Yeah.
So I sat on the couch, right? And I was looking at, there was a repeat. And I'm thinking, why don't I try this? There was no repeat. I was watching TV and there was an ad to say, you know, if you want to be part of the show, call this number. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I've got nothing to lose. Went to my phone, doop, 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 doop. Followed the instruction as per the ad. That is Saturday. Monday, I got a call to say, are you memory? I still remember the lady's name is Tuma.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, are you memory? I'm like, yes, I'm memory. It's like, okay, you're calling you're talking to Tuma from Brew. What is that thing, Brew?
Iron Brew.
No, not Iron Brew. The studio.
Oh yeah.
Suburban Brew. I don't know what is that. I know, but what Brew? Yes. Brew. You know?
Urban Brew.
Urban Brew.
Yes.
You're talking to Tuma from Urban Brew. I'm like, okay. He's like, no, you entered a competition. I'm like, which competition? The Lotto. I'm like, yeah, the Lotto show. I'm like, you're kidding me. It's like, yes. The details. details given to her. Who are you coming with? My grandmother. That's when she
came
to Joburg.
Oh.
Now this time I'm in Bloemfontein when this thing happened. I remember I said I came here for 6 months training.
Yeah.
Yes. So we came together with my grandma's, and I get what? I've got, then it was like 25,000, if not, I won 25,000, if not.
From playing?
Yeah, from playing on the show. The live show.
Oh.
Yes. And Nimrod was the
host.
The host, yes.
Oh my.
And I used that money to buy my first car.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lord, so it's legit. People
It's
can
legit.
win.
People can win. It's not there is no way that those people can go and manipulate the numbers. No way.
If let's say 1 million people have played, those numbers, how it's where. But then the machine, does it work out the algorithms after the numbers have been bet?
Yes. No. After, I get it that people will continue to bet. So there's nothing that they can do. Okay. Right? Yeah. It's when you, after the draw.
Oh,
that's draw. When the draw is the biggie.
So the polo it's not like
there's nobody who can manipulate that.
They can't.
No, because remember those balls. There's a blow. They are blown by the thing, right? Yeah. So they come and they get sucked.
Oh, so it's not like,
no, they get sucked by that thing. They come out. Those numbers that are coming up on the TV, they get sent to us in the data center to capture them, because in their program they say which number 1, the following number 17. So there is an auditor, an independent auditor. So there's no way you can. Hence I said there's a step-by-step checklist that we need to follow at certain times. Yeah.
Interesting.
So everybody can play and win.
Somebody on Pilendi number, so you can this thing.
Try it. So yeah, that's my experience with lottos. I came here with that to do that. I was in Bloem. That lady I told you about, they knew that I was not happy with doing what I was doing. For me, it was just a routine, and there was no growth for me there. And I told her that I wanted to try software testing.
Oh.
So that's when I came to Joburg, because there was no software testing. Though remember, the Bloemfontein was just a branch. Yeah. So everything was happening here. So I came here.
Software testing for same lot?
For same lot.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when everything started for me in the software testing space. So I've been doing that for a really long time.
Yeah.
I've been at... from Utingo, I went to Pastel, so I tested Pastel accounting package.
Oh yes, I remember Pastel.
I did that.
Are they still around?
I don't know
I haven't seen that company in a while, because there's so many other softwares that sort of came after.
So I went there, and I went to Isometrics. They were the risk management. Their clients were all the mines, Global Land and legal people. So I went there and worked as the head of the department. Came back, I left them, and I went to, where did I go after that? I went to the banking industry after that, I think. Yeah, so that's when,
But isn't like your IT software industry like male dominated, white male predominantly?
It was when we started, but now it has changed. Most people are getting into that. We have a lot of black people who are doing developing. There are those who are doing automation. It's actually now black dominated. Really? Yeah. When I left, it was just black dominated.
So you left the industry completely?
Yeah, dude. I was doing
So you had to rebrand, refocus, re-strategize.
I did. When there's something, a nag,
something
that is not done, that it's neglected, it will always come up, to say, you're not doing something about me. I'm one person who, I would be sitting like this with you or alone, and I'll be thinking like, what if I can mix, let's say, oil, let's say sunflower oil, and I mix it with beetroot, beetroot powder, and something, and I play with that, and I look at it with essential oils, and I look at it, I'm like, I see what it does on my face. I apply it on my face, and I take the before and after, right? And then that will be like, okay, cool, something works. And I send it to people like, what do you see here? Oh, why? What? There's the glow. Oh, there's the Uklaban.
Yeah.
So I do that.
Yes.
That's how I would like to say I'm creative and I like working with my hands.
And inquisitive.
Yeah. And this comes from my grandfather, because he used to work with his hands. He will go on the street and take all the scrap and build something out of that.
Wow.
And he will be saying, pass me a hammer, or what is it, a screwdriver, a star. So that's how I got to know all these things. Again, when I have a bulb, I don't wait for whoever.
Yeah.
I just take a step later and change it. Life goes on, and that's
So,
how I judge myself.
What was a turning point for you to actually step away from an industry you studied?
I have what is called a personal experience, right? Where when I eat a lot of sweets, there's a skin manifestation of some sort that looks like eczema, but it's not.
Yeah.
So that thing was a problem for me, because every time I have to go to see a doctor, I pay a lot of money for that, to see him, and to give me a cortisone cream.
Oh.
You know, that's all he does.
Cortisone cream.
Cortisone cream, yes. So just to deal with
the skin,
and from the surface, not from inside.
From the
Okay,
no,
so
treat the end part.
Exactly. So I had money to do that. To go and see the doctor, pay 450, whatever the amount was.
Yeah.
I had the money to buy the cream. What about the person who doesn't have it?
Oh.
So that's how everything started. So my curiosity, wanting to find out about the herbs, about essential oils, all those things came in. How shea butter works on somebody's skin, the difference between shea butter, mango, avocado butter, all those things. That's how I started to do a lot of research about all these things, because I wanted to make something that will work for me, right?
Yeah.
And I did, but it was just not fancy. So it was like, how do I go about making it fancy and acceptable to the market?
How do you package it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even making it, because one thing as a formulator or as a producer, when you do that, you have to ensure that your product doesn't separate.
Meaning what?
Meaning whatever ingredients that you're using to make a cream, they stay together all the time. It doesn't. You can't see water. You can't see the oil. You can't see the emulsifier or whatever. They has to be stay like that forever until it's finished or until it expires.
Okay.
So that's the fancy or the technicalities that I didn't have at that particular time. So again, when I said to you, I see God in everything that I do. And I remember this lady said, there was a lady who said to me, don't be afraid to share your ideas. The universe listen. You will get God, or the universe will send people your way that will help you. So I started sharing, I want to do this, but I wouldn't go into the details of things, like to find out details. I'm like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do at the end of the day. So a friend of mine sent me an application at UJ. It was sponsored by Theatre, and I applied. Yes, as this thing took forever. I took forever to get a response from them. To a point where I was like, this thing is not meant for me. And this is after they told me to register. I registered. Things were not working. And I went home at my grams, who was no more. So I stayed in her room, and I was like, Ma, I like talking to her in her room. I want to do these things, and it's just not happening. I just don't know what is happening. But anyways, giving it to the universe, to God and my sisters, I acknowledge them a lot. So that was that. I came back. It was on Monday when we came back. I took leave, and I was sleeping on my couch, tired. Something said to me, wake up. This is like now 4:15. Say, wake up, call these people. I woke up and I called them, and I explained, this lady pick up, and it's like, and I was about to go memory. I'm like, please help me, because I really need this. She helped me to register, and I was in Okilaban. And I got the letters to say when is the induction, and all this time that I was struggling, people were interviewed. I was not interviewed. And we started. I was in an induction. Yeah, the whole year. That's when I think we attended classes for 3 classes that we attended, and then lockdown started. Level 5 started, so everything was online.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ukilaban. So now you say to people, Ukilaban, you share their ideas, especially those who have been in the game, and they would say like, this is a good idea, memory, do it, Ukilaban, because that's what we need. As somebody who knows nothing, you need people who've been in the game, Ukilaban, and they would direct you. And you pray for them. You don't just go. You have to pray for the right people, the relevant people who would not who would support you and work with you,
and not take you from pillar to post.
Exactly.
And waste your time and yeah, sure.
So that's how it started for me.
Yes.
And I've never looked back since.
What?
No, yeah. After this because I was in search of the essential oils,
yeah,
in bulk. So I was sitting in the Google situation, there comes a Siobi. Siobi, they are the essential oil incubators in South Africa.
Okay.
They come Siobi. When I looked at them, called, nobody answered. Eventually, the owner, because the number that was there was the owners. Eventually, the owner or the managing director or CEO picked up. I spoke to him like, yeah, this is memory. Do you sell essential? I'm looking for essential oils. Like, what kind of essential oils? So I started explaining what kinds, but I want them in bulk. This is what I want to do. He's like, no, we're not at that stage right now. But there's something coming up. I'm like, whatever it is, let me know. He's like, okay, cool. So 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the line, I see him with this thing that he's doing, a new product. I'm like, so he's saying he will invite people, so that he can explain. I'm like, don't forget to let me know what is this. He had the meeting and I sat down. This is now a group funding situation. Crowdfunding, not group, crowdfunding situation that he wanted to raise. And I'm like, I'm in. He's like, I'm like in. He had a good vision. What he wanted to do is to help people like me or anybody there who wants to be in the space, essential space, to train them and help them to be commercialized. That's what he wanted to do. And he wanted to have about few people that he can get their product abroad. So for me, that was like no way I'm going to get anything like that.
Yeah.
So I signed up with this thing, and along the ways, like there's essential oil farming incubation that's coming. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Because remember, I always wanted the essential oils. I'm like, why not? Because I can plant my own things and sell, and so it's a plant to product value chain, sort of say. So I'm using my stuff, I'm using the oil, the herbs, the oils for my product. So
wait, when you say a plant, are you saying are they like plants you grow them?
Yes.
And then from the plant you extract the oil? You
extract the oil. So that's what he does.
Oh.
So for me, that was a game changer.
Wait, what plants are these?
Anything. But what
sunflower seeds? Or no?
No, he's doing rose geranium. He's doing spearmint. He's doing a whole lot of your lavenders. He's got a lot.
And you extract oil from those?
Yes.
What?
I know. Oh. Well, so imagine if you... For me, that was another game changer, I promise you.
Yeah.
So they taught us how to... It was for us, it was essential oils.
You need machinery, obviously.
They have.
Okay.
I mean, I can't have them now. Yeah. But, it's something that at a later stage one can always, have.
So wait. So I'm sorry to cut you there. Wait, you take the plant, it produces an oil out of the plant?
Yes, it produces two things, the oil and the water. And the water is called hydrosol.
It separates?
It separates.
What?
Yes. It's a very interesting thing, I promise you. For me, it was like, wow. To see that. I was invited. He actually invited us, everybody who was in that crowdfunding, to say, you can come to to my farm and see what we're doing. I went.
Yeah.
Everything. Not that. Because when somebody talks, you can hear when somebody is just making things up, and you can hear when somebody is talking from passion.
Yeah.
So the guy, Elias, talks from passion when he talks about essential oils and the market and in the industry.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to see what this guy is doing. So we sat and he told me where he started. And he took me to where he planted, to his farm, right? Which is he stays in his farm. We went there, I touched rose geranium. This is before I signed up as an essential oil farmer, incubation.
Yeah.
I touched it. He had thyme, he had rose geranium, lavender. He had quite a few. He likes trying things. They try things before they go. They plant them in a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So he had other things there. But he also has a lab where he extracts. He has a machine where he, everything is done in his farm. Yeah. So to see that, for me, I was like, I'm in.
This is the industry.
This is the industry that I want to do. Remember, I don't want to. For me, it was like, okay, cool. It'd be cool to have your own plant, your own farm where you do this thing. Even if you don't extract as a small farmer rather, but where you can take them, until you get to that space where you can have your own machinery and all that. So that was that for me. I'm like, I can plant, take it to him, sell my own things,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. So within that, now, I'm excited with everything. They came a beauty and personal incubation. Now this for me was like, I'm in. Because I wanted to do, just listen to this. You get everything. Everything I'm talking from a product, packaging, branding from this incubation.
What?
And manufacturing. Yes. So I'm like, okay, cool. What are we doing? So I sat down and I'm thinking, I don't want to do skin because I'll tell you later about it. I have something in the skin space, or rather range that is coming. So I'm not going to do rare skin stuff. So I'd rather look at something else. And sitting about it, praying about it, talking to my people. I'm like, guys, what are we doing? How should we go about this? Hair range.
Hair range.
I'm like, okay, hair range. What about hair range? Everybody's doing natural hair, detangling, what. How are we going to be unique? Yay. Black and white hair range. Your type of thing.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? How do you mean? Like to make it a little bit more shinier?
Yes, I get why it's all it can be done. So
yeah, because it is dry. I can feel it.
Exactly. So
it's creamy here. Can you believe it? It needs an oil.
It needs an oil to look fancy, Oh, babe, daddy cool. Daddy cool. So the idea actually. That's when I saw, it came about when I saw my mother frustrated with her black and white hair.
Oh.
She was dying 8 and 3 weeks down the line. It's back to normal. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? It's like, no, man. I'm like, okay, cool. How about we make it trendy? How about we make this trendy? Let's have a product that will embrace it. When people see you, they're like, people are like, So that's what I'm working on right now.
That's incredible.
It's in manufacturing. I'm actually awaiting the second samples because I send it back for adjustment.
Okay.
So yeah, they're waiting for that.
I can't wait to try them out, Joe.
Yes.
More white.
Yeah, no.
It's crazy, man.
So yeah,
it's exciting.
It is. I sometimes don't believe that these things are happening because also again you look at God and you're like, I call him my gentleman God. And he's been very gentle to me. Again, last year there was an opportunity for another scale up with UJ that I signed up with. With that came either a cosmetic or detergent to manufacture and get tested for you. So I went for the detergent. So they are also at the lab right now, tested for SABS. SABS testing. Once they are done,
you've got a product.
I've got a product.
Now you just got to go to the market and sell it.
Exactly.
How would you describe yourself? Are you a salesperson? Are you an entrepreneur? Because I'm just picking up a whole lot of things. You have to be master of all.
I'm not a salesperson.
Okay.
I know I can sell.
Okay.
And I can do my sales speech nice, but I'm not good at that. So I want people that will do that, would assist me with that, because I don't want to waste my time and my efforts. I want to focus where I know I'm good at.
You want to create a great product and people to sell it.
Yeah.
And in fact, what's interestingly, and I'm going to be speaking to the guy quite, I think in a week or so, he's also doing CBD oils. And like I said to you, he's ventured into looking at the marijuana business and how to extract oil from it to create all these different kinds of CBD oils. And he's got a system where he wants to work with influencers, and he wants to work with people that can have like a network marketing system type of setup. Or you've got agents, but they can actually sell,
yes.
you know. So it's always interesting to see once you've got a product, I'm sure, without having to take it to the shelves, the shops, where you're going to pay so much for its distribution there, you can actually give people a portion of, them making compensation.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what I was advised to do the same by one of the business mentors from the incubation, like from UJ cohort, because we have access to them. And he said, Memory, the only way I see or I think you can do this is to go that route, and also I'm looking at franchising it. So that's how, that's the plan. Again, the universe are listening, and the right people are listening.
And the ancestors, the gentle guy.
Exactly, they are listening. So yeah, that's
incredible, man.
That's my life.
Your journey.
My journey to where I am at. I also trained as a life coach. I'm not certified yet.
Okay.
I trained as that, and look, I see it working nicely with my program, with my NPO.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about a boy child, and this is because I'm raising a boy child.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad that we actually come to this part of the of our topic, because, I feel modern parents have it so difficult in the environment that we are in, where, I think it's just common knowledge what our kids are exposed to today, more than we were during our time. True. They have these things, these cell phones, access to information like never before. You're a parent. When did you become a parent?
2003.
Yeah. So our kids are the same age.
Yeah. 2003, I became a mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't plan for that, eh?
What?
I know it just happened. Look, I was like, for me, if I could, I would have had a child after 30. I promise you, 32. That's when I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I start thinking, So what happened is that one of my friends at primary fell pregnant, right, at that age. Yes, I was super scared. For me, when you touch me, I'm just like, I feel pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I
was so afraid. Just as I remember the two ladies that I told you about also. Yes. Yeah. So, I've always made sure that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I even went to extent of using contraceptives before I became active.
Yeah.
That's how scared I was. What's next? Yes. So as I'm now matured and grown up, it has its complications, as everybody knows. So started having complications, and the doctor's like, how long have you been using this? I'm like, as long as I can remember, man. It's like, okay, cool. Then you gotta stop.
Get off those things.
Get off those things, because now you're approaching that age where someday you'll need a child or you want a child. And that's we stopped. And then one day I played and things happened.
Yes.
Okay,
you were blessed with a baby boy.
It happened with the right person at that particular time.
Yeah.
I didn't have regrets. Knowing that I was pregnant, I was like, ooh, mutisana me. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna in an essence. So I went home. told my sister, my younger sister, I'm like, yo, I'm pregnant, and your mom. It's like, yo, you are in crap, woman.
But you were still a bit older.
Yeah, but my mother chilies, extra chili.
Yeah.
Yo. Hey, mosadi le khona tšhentšang ka ditlogolwana sa botsa gage. So we had a strategy, we devised a strategy to approach all of them, and yeah.
So how are you going to break the news?
To break the news.
How did you break them?
I had it was very interesting. There was a leather jacket that she liked.
Yeah.
Mine. So because the Paraka winter, it had a tummy shape, pregnancy.
Oh.
So I'm at home, and I don't know what she was doing. It was on the bed. I put it on the bed, and she was just folding it and put it in the hanger in the cupboards. So she tried it on, and she's like, why does it look like pregnant? I'm like, by the way, I'm pregnant. It's like, what? I didn't have another way to do it because the strategy was not going to work.
Like, an opportunity.
She wasn't happy because you know why every mother would expect.
Wait, how long were you pregnant?
About 3 months. I'm big. So when I'm 3 months, I'm 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she wasn't happy. And the reason why she was not happy is because every mother would want their child to get married first, white weddings. It's a mom's dream, right?
For sure.
So that didn't happen. And we went, continued. He was born. Yes, she didn't want anything. All she wanted was to hold him, and she was the one who went crazy more than anybody else. She was happy. So that's how it happened. I went home, deliver, and I had complications, challenges there. Where
was he a big boy?
He was. I remember. Yes. The months before I went for my maternity, right?
Yeah.
There was my then manager was Leeuw. How you call it?
Leeuw.
Yeah.
Skew-eyed, yeah.
Skew-eyed, yes. So, my tummy was big. You would see my tummy before, and I turned to the corridor. In the corridor, was like when I turn, you see the tummy before you see me. That's how big my tummy was. And guess what? I was drinking milk. I was drinking milk like there's no tomorrow. When I'm pregnant, I no milk.
Yeah.
I'm drinking it like water. So I was going to the fridge because they provided milk. Though sometimes I'll bring mine, but I'll bring cream because I preferred cream. So that one is when I'm lazy to make my cream, I'll go for the office one. And then when I turned, he was like looking at me. I'm like, how? What's wrong with you? What are you looking at? He's like, no, I'm not looking at your memory. You know how pregnant women can be sometimes. They're just direct, and they're sensitive and all that. So I'm like, what are you looking at? He's like, no, I'm not looking at you. But he was looking at my time. But everybody was because I was older. It was big. It was humongous. So he said, no, I was not looking at you. I'm like, yeah, no, you were looking at me. He's like, no, man, remember how my eyes asked you?
You're putting him under the collar.
The guy that I was with at that time is like, your memory, how can you do this to the poor man? I'm like, yeah, but I was looking at my timing. So I think a week after that, I went home. So because I also could not. And I went home when I was like 8 months.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I felt like, I was going to give birth anytime. But there was nothing. So I went home and he came. He was 4.7.
4.7? That's huge.
That's huge. That's a human. I was meant to deliver on the 16th, but he came on the 21st.
Oh.
So June.
Oh.
So yeah.
When was his birthday just now?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's he was huge. Okay, but he was huge. I remember the nurses, they would fight to bath him because he's like a human. They're not tiny like all the other kids that are there. The first time that
Nelly Mash.
I'm sure.
Like mashy, creamy.
Cream and ale. I know, he was honest papa. Okay, so the day they called me to bath him, there was an old lady, white lady, looking at a grandchild. And when they brought him, she stopped with her grandchild and she was looking at my son. She actually wanted to bath my son. And her daughter was not happy.
Yeah.
The daughter's like, how can you do that? Everybody was shocked. But you know what? I think it was because of he looked more like he was big enough to touch. You know how others, they can be so small. You don't even know how to touch them.
Yeah.
So it's because of that. So yeah,
wow.
That's how big he was. We went home and then that's when my complications started. In and out of the hospital. So that was actually one of the challenges that I came across, right? Where, as a mom, new mom, you want to bond with your child, but I was in and out of hospital. So, and I left him with my parents and my sister, who is second mom to him.
Wait, when you had to come back?
No, in and out of hospitals.
Okay,
so my sister was there to help and my parents, my whole family were there to help me actually to look after him because I had to leave him and go to the hospital. So what they did, they'll bring him to me. So yeah, because I was not in a position to do anything for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then he grew up.
So he grew up. You know what we did to keep contact with him when he was still a baby? I'll call every day to my sister's phone and we'll talk. You know almost how they go, and he'll be like, yeah, I'm coming end of the month. And so that's how I did. I'll talk to him every day. And I went home.
While you were here? Okay.
And I went home every month,
Yeah.
It continued until he was 2 or 3 years. And we brought him here with my then partner. We stayed all as a family situation.
Yeah.
And things started to go south. And the intervention were made. Things didn't work out. And I was like, I can lose everything but not myself. So that's when I'm like, I'm done. Can I be Pilato in this situation?
Yeah.
Keep moving on. Exactly. Yeah. And my dad by then, it was not a good environment to raise a son or a child. So my father said, bring him home.
Constant arguing.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. When you got people like that lack of communication and people start realizing things about themselves and they want to do things for themselves and all that. And I'm not that. I'm not. For me, what you see is what you get. I'm here.
Yeah.
We do this together. We either do it or we don't. That's who I am and that's how I am.
You're very practical.
Exactly. And
logical. Wishy-washy. Yeah.
So I don't do that. I really don't do. I can't even keep up with people who are not, practical and who are everywhere. I'm like, I can't keep up.
And you decided to go in it alone.
Yeah, I spoke with my parents.
Though.
Yeah, I know.
That's brave.
I know. I spoke with my parents. They're like, okay, bring him home, because for me, right, one of the things that I wanted to give my son was stability.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up with you seeing people or see other kids where there was no stability and they end up in drugs, they end up being in gangs and all that. So I didn't want that for my son. And also I'm coming from a very stable family. So that's all I wanted to give him. Because I knew it would benefit him in future or at a later stage. So we sat down with my parents. They said, bring him. I brought him home. I took him home, actually.
How old was he that time?
He came in when he was 2 years. He was about 4-ish when I took him back. Okay. And he was about 4-ish, 3-ish or 4-ish. He was there. I don't know. I don't remember the years. Exactly. But he was less than 5. And I explained to him, I'm like, dude, we are very close. Remember, I've always wanted to try to take my kids to school. And I'll tell you why. So we will go to school, go to work, drop him at school. I'll go to work, fetch him. We had a routine that was working very well for us. So now it's gonna be a new adjustment for him. So I had to explain to say the reasons why, because some of the things we think that kids are not aware of, but they are. So, and he would bring it up, or bring them up to say, but why this? Why not that? And I'm like, these are the reason why I want you to go home, so that I can find a better place for us to stay together, where there's no other situations or issues that we're encountering right now. And he agreed, So we went home, took a week's leave, looked for a school for him, a proper school, nice school. We signed him up and he stayed there. He only came back 2010 when he came to start his first grade one. His grade one.
Oh.
Yeah. With my sister, who then graduated, and I felt like you can't stay at home with she did financial management. And I'm like, you can't stay at home. There's nothing for you in Bloemfontein. Tlakwan, Okilaban. And we stayed together. Okilaban, she stayed about 5 months looking for a job. And then I think in June she got a job. Okilaban. So we got a helper to help us with the young man. Okilaban.
Yeah. But now, so the young man is now grown. He's a big boy now. Matriculated.
Yes,
he's studying now. What's he studying at the moment?
Computer science.
Wow.
He's doing computer
Pretty
science.
much your line.
My line.
Okay.
He actually wanted to do medicine. And I always said to him, he was just focused on that. And I'm like, you have to have a plan B. He's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, you have to have a plan B. Okay, Laban. What if then? I'm not going to be, I don't want us to be in a situation where you don't get through, and then you get disappointed and you don't have you stay at home and, and all that. It's like, okay. Sorry. So I started driving that to him when he was doing grade 8. Because all this time he's like, I want to do medicine. I'm like, okay. And he knew that he is not gonna have that. I'm doing computer science next year. I'm doing whatever geography, because he did geography, whatever. I'm mature. What? I'm like, I don't have money for that.
Yeah, you can't be changing your mind.
No, you can't.
At my expense, dog.
I'm like, look, I have been focusing on you,
Yeah.
The next one is your sister. After that, it has to be me.
Yeah.
So I cannot. I'm like, no, we can't. Exactly. I can't do most of the things because I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't be changing. So whatever that you choose, make sure that you're going through with it all the way.
But how difficult was it for you to raise a boy child?
It wasn't. Zweli, oh my word. Zweli has always been a good child, right?
Yeah.
When from the young age, I get almost you're in control. Mommies knows everything anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, love it.
Yeah.
And I backed that up with facts when I dealt with him. I think that's what made him to trust me.
Okay.
He started at Randfontein Primary. And I could see that this guy is not applying himself, right? Yeah. He would just study in the morning and ace the test. I'm like, we can't have this. So I took him to another school where they were stretching him up. So while he was there, I'm just trying to illustrate the trusting part and the communication, the importance of communication. Yeah. So he's like, okay, when he got there, they stretched him and, he got used to the school and all that. And now he started dating. Now he's in primary. Dating. He came to me, saying, Mommy, I have a girlfriend. I'm like, girlfriend? He's like, yeah, I've got a girlfriend. I'm like, okay, what kind of girlfriend? Like, what are you doing with your girlfriend? Yeah. He's like, no, Mommy, we do tests together, all those things that to show that it's just a toy relationship or, it's not a serious relationship, not a toy. Yeah, but they were not doing anything hectic. I'm like, okay, so the reason why I ask him questions to understand the relationship. It's like, no, we'll go to the movies, and I'm like, alone. It's like, no, obviously with our parents. I'm like, okay, cool, continue with your girlfriend, but give me 80 average on your schoolwork. It has to be 80. Anything less than that, the relationship stops. Okay, are you cool with that? he went to think about it. He came like, yes, I'm cool. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's how we've maintained the school matters situation.
Focus.
Remo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I also told him, like, it's just the two of us in terms of, the people who are involved in your life. It's just the two of us. Let me worry about adult stuff. When worry about school. Keep that. Now when I will forever have peace. Okay, so that's how we did. We went about it with a girlfriend. He came one day, said he wanted to go to the movie, so we obviously have to sponsor the date.
Yeah.
Okay,
Must cost you now.
So they went with my sister, and the date went on, and they were happy. Okay, he's a gentleman,
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to take care of a woman.
Yeah.
He knows. So we taught him well. Okay, so anyways, the girlfriend later
Or it's not like
he's not vibey. Okay, exactly.
80%.
I'm not doing this. Yeah. So even now, said not quite, but said. So when I pick him up from school on every afternoon, he wouldn't say much. I will get the information in the morning. Remember, that's why I said I love taking them to school, because that's when we talk and catch up about the yesterday's happenings. Yeah. So he told me, like, no, this lady dumped him. I'm like, dumped him? How do you get dumped? Okay, like, some boy like you get dumped. Like, she wanted to see somebody else. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me tell you, she's gonna come back. How do you know? I'm like, you treated her well. That guy is not gonna treat her the way you did. Okay, months down the line, she came back. And he came, he was so happy. He's like, hey, she came. Like, you see, mommy knows everything. So I raised him up believing that I know everything. Until, everything was cool until he became a young man. Until he realized that he's a young man, or, he's becoming. I saw flames. I was not ready.
16, 17.
Look, I was not ready. I could have always planning, in control of things. Look, Sipho, I was not ready. Because nobody, the parenting thing doesn't come with a manual, and our parents will not tell you this is how it's done, what. So, now he's him teaching me. Remember, I've been a teacher all along. Now he's teaching me. And his ways of teaching me, they were not kind. They were not easy. I saw flames. Flames in the sense of from somebody who's like, yes, mom, I'll do it now. And then he stand up and he do it. I got used to that. So now it's me waiting for him to finish whatever that is doing.
I know that feeling.
I know. That requires a serious mindset change. Okay, Laban.
It means Luena, you must grow with him.
Exactly.
You can't be stuck up on
No, you can't.
Now you must be like,
I was never ready. I was never ready until we had a conversation. We clash. And look, I raised my kids to be assertive, right? To be assertive, to be firm, to,
speak their mind.
To speak their mind, but within, with respect.
Yeah.
So when it's done to you,
taste of your own medicine.
I end up asking my sister, like, why did I teach him this? But it was not easy up until we had a conversation, our first meeting, the three of us. Because my sister also had her turn.
I don't remember him like this. That's a thing. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, but what I asked him to remember.
But he wasn't naughty.
No, he wasn't. It was just him.
Like speaking his mind.
Exactly. But I are not used to that.
Yeah.
We are used to saying, whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. It's like, wait for me to finish what I'm doing. Yes. And when he says no, Ukilaban, for like speaking his mind when we're having a confrontation, or maybe we relating what happened, and he said, "No, mom, it doesn't happen like that. My son never said that to me. He always just keep quiet." So all those things were new to me, and I was never ready.
Yeah.
Ukilaban, I really have to sit with myself and to sit with my sister, and to sit with to read books, Ukilaban, as to how to go about and research about how to go about, changing or adjusting to that situation. But yeah, I remember saying to him, like, dude, I've never had a teenager before.
Yeah.
You know?
This is new, dog.
Like, bear with me.
Yeah.
You don't have to be this hard on me. I'm fragile,
Strong, but nigga, damn.
These are my words. I'm like, I might come strong, but as a strong person, but I'm not. Like, I heard. So, have mercy on me. Yes. So for us, that was the only challenge, Okilaban. And as we grow now, even now, I see myself in him.
Really? Yeah.
I do. I was stubborn. When I discovered my, womanhood, now I'm no longer a child.
Yeah.
I was very stubborn. Like, when I believe I'm right, I believed it, and I would never change.
Back down
on that. So I now see how I used to stress my mom. So I'm testing what I'm getting a taste of what I put her through.
Don't you think, Jorge, what our parents used to say, maybe because nere ba hlopa in a way that we did, they would think, one day you will feel it yourself.
I don't think it's that. I think it's that thing of it has to happen. For me, it's like Okilaban, because when you put it like that, it's like you're cursing.
Okay.
Okilaban.
Yeah.
But it's that thing to say whole. Somebody said to me, her mother used to say whole out board. Okilaban. I think it's a stage, Okilaban, that one has to go through as because remember, it's not only him growing up. I'm also growing up in this whole thing, Okilaban. So I think it's that stage. But I'm really blessed. I feel very blessed that he didn't turn out to do drugs or whatever the case may be. And Okilaban, whatever that he put me through is just because of he just was showing me that I'm a man.
Yeah.
But I have to always remind him, yes, you are becoming a young man, but I'm still your mom. Okilaban. So we always maintain that respect.
Yeah.
Okilaban with each other. Okilaban and everybody in the house.
Yeah.
Okilaban. So yeah.
So at least for you, it's not as bad as what other parents may have gone through. Where you're saying like kids are exposed to drugs, alcohol abuse, like what we've seen go Tavening earlier, go Eastern Cape, where teenagers as young as 13 baya go di tavening, start drinking, and boys at that age, they are highly sexually active. I mean, teenage pregnancy is on the rise. So you must be grateful for.
I am. Hence, I'm saying I'm blessed. We I think that stability thing that I was after when we raised him, because he could have been easily exposed to a lot of things. I think if I kept him here with us, we kind of like took him away from the toxic that was in that environment, because it could have done something to him. So we took him away before it got hectic. Yeah. So I think that for us that worked, because also the dynamics go high. My father is very involved. My father is very involved, and he's not an easy, he's not, he takes his alcohol, right? But he will not take it in front of
the kids.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even us. He will not see how old I am. He will not ask me to go and buy when his friends are around. He will take the car and go to a liquor store, get it. So and get it for his visitors and all that. So that's how he is. So I think how the family dynamics helped a lot, because
So the father figure part, he got it from where? He got it from
yeah.
From your dad.
He got it from my. You see what again. He got it from my dad. that time, the foundation phase, if I may put it that way.
Yeah.
He came here. I always remember I told you Majid.
Yeah.
So I always look for those that I have characteristics that I want him to get exposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that. And the teachers. One thing that I would recommend for single mothers is to be involved in their kids' educational matters. Get to know their teachers, because that's where they get to open up. And then when you know those teachers, you communicate with them and get to feel, or you get to know where they at. So that allows you to empower yourself or empower him with whatever issues that they are going through. We have a good relationship where it's only now changing because people have grown. So we talk to this limit.
Yeah.
But we had that agreement to say, when he was growing up, to say, look, how about you talk to me about whatever that you're going through? If I can't help, we will find you somebody who will do that for you. So that's the agreement that we had. So I was fortunate that when he started at the new school, remember I told you I moved from one primary to the other.
Yes.
His teacher was very young, and he had also had a family, a baby. So I fell pregnant when he was somewhere doing grade 4, 5, 6, somewhere who's grade in 7. And this after he asked me for a sibling for a very long time. Like, dude, I have to ask God for that.
What?
Yes,
it's like that's what you want.
Yeah. So when that happened, his teacher was like, now that you're, because he was excited, he told everybody who cared to listen.
What?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be a big brother now.
Yeah. So the teacher was like, with that, and I'm happy that you're happy, we're gonna have a sibling, but now the problem is the attention is gonna shift from you to her or to him.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that? So he helped me with him. And this is without me even asking.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my word.
Okay, this is without me asking, but from the relationship that I had with him, the teacher.
Yeah.
So when it was time for us to have those conversations, he already knew. And I got him involved in the pregnancy. He would massage me when she kicked. He will be involved.
What?
Yeah.
That's
he
so
went,
cute.
He said, he asked me, when can he see my daughter? I'm like, so I was the 3D whatever thing, I'm like, I'll take you the scan. Yes, I will take you when that happens. Like, please. So I made my appointment to accommodate him. So and my sister.
So he would go with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he
so
would.
cool.
And we'll see that. I think the last one is the 3D, when you actually get to see.
Yeah. So he's very loving.
He is. My son
Caring.
He is.
Yeah, protective.
Yeah. No, he is. So that was that. And
is it because of being surrounded by females also?
I don't think so. My father is very giving. My father is very loving. We go home when we're here, going to Bloemfontein, we'll ask him, we'll place orders, right, of the things that we don't eat here, where we can't cook, eat that we don't cook for ourselves. So it will be malamogodu from my mother and dumpling. She has a way that she's doing it, and my father. So we have an order. There'll be cakes as well. There'll be biscuits, and guess what? Who's doing them? Both of them.
Oh.
Yeah. They'll bake together.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so he grew up seeing
that.
Father.
Yeah.
Must be hands-on.
Yes.
Go kitchening. Atuso kolomaka. Shopong. That's incredible.
In the morning, when we're there, we say we arrive today, tomorrow we'll be like, can we have soft porridge, mapa? He has a way of doing it. Even if I make it, it's not like his.
Oh.
So he'll wake up early in the morning and make it for us.
What?
Yeah.
Your dad is so cool.
My father is so cool, I promise you. It's not even fun. He will make coffee for himself, right? And my sister will be sleeping. And he's done with his coffee. And my sister will be running, please make one for me. he will start afresh. Even for my daughter.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to make one for my daughter because he's got instructions. There's honey, there's what. He's like, yo, I'm not doing that. But he does that for us. So I think him seeing my father doing all those things.
Because there's nothing wrong with a man who's a bit soft.
There is nothing right now. I've always told him that. Saying you are sorry doesn't make you weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you stronger, in fact.
Exactly. So that's where we went home now, right? For the break for a week. Just towards the end of July, we went home. He was studying. He had his things, and so my sister and I and my daughter went home. On Friday, we're coming back on Sunday. On Friday, my father put all the veggies out for us to cook or prepare, so that tomorrow, like Saturday, when we come back, we bring him stuff like full cooked meal on Saturday. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how he is. And he's the one I think who did the pumpkin. So he cooked pumpkin from fresh.
What?
We brought full Sunday gauze.
Kata, it's everything.
My father is cool, man.
That's amazing.
My father is cool.
So I think because I think we've run an hour now. So you're working on another concept, which is a podcast.
Yes.
And in your podcast, you really want to be able to advise single moms or moms who are raising boy kids, maybe who don't have a present father. So tell us a little bit more about this.
Look, I wondered how other people are doing. I managed because of the support that I had.
Yeah.
Okay, to be where we at. Yeah. So I want to be in a position where we empower women, or give them suggestions as to how to raise their kids alone and not feel like they are owed anything. Okay, that the father not being there, it's not the end of the world. So I want to empower them to be able to change their mindset. Okay, equip them with, if they don't work, let's find ways to help them to be economically active. Okay, so that's basically how I want to go about it, which gels with my NPO situation.
And tell us about your NPO.
So it's about two things that we're doing.
Okay.
Now, the first one is to help those people that are in the rehab. Okay, we want to addicts, yes.
Okay.
Recovering, yes. We want to help them. To I get they go there and they come back. We want to help them not to relapse.
Relapse.
Yeah, that's what. So what we do, we now train them. We give them the skills that will do. Okay, and then we want to place them into companies so that they can work. I have my partner and I. We've started a consulting company where we're helping NPOs with funding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but also with help those people that we're training to placing them into the market, just to help with elevating the level of unemployment. Secondly, is this women to have a safe place, or not even a safe, not to say for them to come and stay there, but just to have for them to come and get counseling if needs be, for them to have somebody to listen to, because it gets too much, especially when you're not ready, when somebody says no to you, or not when so Emma, when you send them anywhere. So it requires really a mindset and change, and it requires support to say you are not alone in this thing, because there are those who are getting the extreme of what I got. How do we help them when they are alone and nobody in the family wants to support them? So yeah.
Do you think, as men, not that I'm putting you against men, but do you think as men we've dropped the ball to a large extent? Some of us, we've disappointed a boy child
a lot, because one of the things again when I'm teaching my kids, it's emotional intelligence, right?
Okay.
For them to be self-aware, self-regulate, how to social awareness situations. So I feel that most men are not equipped with those things, because if you are to put your egos aside, if parents are to put egos aside, really, and focus on the child, we wouldn't be where we are. A lot of men, they'll think of what she did to me.
what the woman did to
Yes,
Okay.
what the woman did to me.
Oh.
Therefore, they can't move away from that. So they are punishing the woman, but not realizing that
punishing
the child is suffering because it's unnecessary. You know, I've been in a since I've said to people like, dude, I'm here, he's there. Let's focus there. I'm cool. You know, let's focus there. Yeah, people are not coming. Yeah, people are not coming. They're not coming to party. And that's one thing I told my son to say, dude, you know what I've done. I have told you my side of the story. I took you to people who were there when I experienced things for you to understand, because I told him that, look, when you're 18, I'll tell you my side of the story. You will have to await the other side of the story. And I took him to the people that were there, the people who experienced with me, people who actually suggested to me that, who, you know, that this is what you're getting yourself into. So they told them their side of the story. They told him their side of the story. So, yeah, it's all about people really forgetting about what happened and focusing on the child, for the child to prosper. Another thing that I think men are not doing for themselves, I think it's an injustice. They're not healing. They don't work on themselves to heal.
Okay. From whatever things
traumas.
that hurt us.
Yes.
It's because we don't talk.
You don't talk. Why are you not talking? That's why I'm encouraging my son to talk to me.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think, and to be honest with you, this show particularly, for me, it was to be able to create a platform where guys can talk or guys can learn. And because I've been developing young people for the last 12, 13 years, and what I've realized, Gore, in the last 7, 8 years, I have to be in front of them or with them daily to mentor them, to train them, to teach them.
And it shouldn't be the case.
And it shouldn't be the case. So I realized, Gernoman, if I create a podcast, a video form of podcast, an audio form of podcast, anyone can learn from anywhere about everything. You know, be it it's a single mom, be it it's a single guy, be it it's a young guy, older guy. Korenje atole maele from the guests like yourselves to say, how do I better my life? How do I improve the lives of those around me, etc., etc. And I think this is the whole purpose. And you're quite right, Jorge. We don't talk as men, and I try to get men to talk. How are
people going to know what's going on with you if you're not talking? Okay,
yeah.
For let's take my example, right? The other party, he just came not recently into his life, right? And I've said to him initially, for us to be able to go anywhere based on the experiences of what you have done, right? How about we meet and work on a way forward together? That's what I said. The party hasn't come to the table to this day, right? And I even said, you know, I would share. I didn't want to be in a position where tomorrow is a he say whatever situation.
And you kept me away.
And I would just, whatever I say, I will take a photo and send it to him to say, this is what I said. I don't want tomorrow when things happen to say I was the gatekeeper. To this day, the last communication I had with this individual to say, how about, I actually said, when you are ready to talk as parents, you have, you know, my digits. Tell them I'll avail myself. So that we can have a proper way. Okay, because I'm one, like again, you said it nicely to say I'm pretty practical and logical. I want us to be, I want, when you say to me, promise is very important. A word, you need to keep a promise with me. So I want him to say, I will do 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is like, how do you plan? Or how do you see us going forward? Okay, he tells us. And then we tell them, like, we will be comfortable with 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we take it forward. That's how I want it to happen. And I even explained it to my son, but it's been a case of situations. Hence I'm saying people need to learn to heal from whatever, and forget about, ego is something else that can actually destroy a man's life. That can, like, seriously, it can destroy a man's life.
And I think the biggest problem we have as men, if you look at all the kingdoms that have fallen, it's because of a man's ego.
Yes.
A man's stupidity, a man's inability
Lack
to
of
think,
humbleness.
Lack of emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
Something happened, you blew up, you didn't think, obolwana, next thing your kingdom falls. And I think it's a problem that comes from, I don't know, generations.
And it's honestly up to us, this generation, to be aware of such things and stop it. Okay, I wanted to have boy camps when my son was still at FNS. Okay, I spoke with the Lutis and but they blocked it. I'm sure our kids would have been in a better position when it comes to self-regulations and that.
I think boy camps are very necessary, and I agree with you 100%. I mean, I think Lena being raised by a single mom, and then I don't know how I made it.
Grace.
Like, it's God's grace. I think, and I think also becoming a father changed me a lot as well. And I think, Linda, at the time I was then saying, let me break this curse, this generational curse. Where Letama is not present, Letama is not there, Letama is not there, Koskolong, it's a small things. And I was like, wait a king, maybe I just need to do something on this thing and be available as much as possible. So I guess in the end of the day, Kore, it's the choices you also make as a man.
I always say that to people, that whether you take a choice or not, you've made a decision.
You've made a decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your message to the ladies, to single moms, quickly, as we wrap it up, because Nalwe na rekabua for another 2 hours.
Yeah, well, for me, it's focus on your self-development.
Yeah.
Okay, once you can focus on that, you'll be able to do whatever you want. You won't be looking at people to come and do what they are supposed or meant to do for their kids. Empower yourself with knowledge. Read up about the challenges that you go or you come across. Okay, but there is one thing. If I can stress anything more, it's your self-development and my gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically how I made it.
Because
and the last thing, find support from the uncles. Look for those brothers out there who can be a father figure to your son, and ask them for help.
Just one last question. Okay. If a woman has no father figure, does she look for a father figure in another man?
I wouldn't say yes, because I've never done that.
Because, I've had this discussion with somebody else to try and see if this theory makes sense. Because if you look at how dependent some women have become, because you talk about self-development, and which is what I think I preach to my daughters all the time. If you improve yourself, you improve your life, you improve yourself, you don't depend on a guy.
Exactly.
Because I always say, dog, yo, man, you can't rely on a man.
No,
I'm
you
a guy.
can't. You
can't rely on a nigga.
No, you can't.
Oh,
You see names. I would have been like I'm glowing. Strong.
Because you don't develop yourself like some, like, I mean, I hear women all the time, but and then like it drives me insane because I wanna lose it. I wanna lose it because I'm like, do you know Ramon now fachele the net so sits out regular so the trophy so the next thing auto treat out next, so you will not have any say.
Yeah.
And that's why you also see it with women who married rich men who were self-made before they build everything together, they have no say.
They have no say.
They get treated like they're nothing. So I really like the fact that you're saying develop yourself, have a relationship so that you know you are not worshipping a man.
Yeah, no.
Because
that's why I would rather lose whatever materials that we have acquired.
Yo.
And that's what I did. I literally left. I literally left. You know, and I started new, like afresh. Go Randfontein. Go re ke batla lo start ke focus go Randfontein for myself.
Go khakala.
Go snabo I'm passing by no.
Yeah, on the outskirts.
The outskirts, and you know what? It worked perfectly for us because the transition for him from Bloem to Randfontein is almost the same. Okay, yeah, there was no hectic or massive adjustment
like
that
urban
needed.
Center,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it worked very well. By the time we came this side, he already knew his way around.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay? So
powerful, man.
That's how I survived.
I look forward to your podcast. I look forward to your oils. I look forward to all the great things that you are doing. I look forward to seeing the young man also just grow to become a better man and a stronger man and an educated man. And I look forward to all the good things that are coming to you, because like Ochore Modimo on a planning with a grand plan
known to him. Hence I'm saying, like, you know, some of the things I said to you, even this.
Yeah.
Remember how we were talking not long last week, right?
Yeah.
When you were talking and when you said, I'm like, look at God, look at my gentleman. Okay, Laban.
Yeah.
So now I know how it tastes to be in a broadcast, and tomorrow I know, like, okay, Laban, I'm doing this thing. I don't need a whole of equipment.
And you see how simple it is.
It is.
So this is and while we're doing this, so I've got this phone here records the audio.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a software in here. It's called Spreaker. You can download it.
Yeah.
Spreaker, it allows for you to create podcasts, and you can also record live.
Okay.
And then what it does, so now I pre-record here.
Yeah.
And then there's music that I can load, but then it's not a musical show. It's more of a conversation, show.
Yes.
So, and then upload most Spreaker. It goes to Spotify, it goes to Deezer, it goes to Google Podcast, it goes to, there's two other ones I can't think of right now. And then the audio part, you can see I'm using a phone. Again, this also just goes to YouTube, then I cut it. Can you go Twitter, go TikTok, go Instagram, go Facebook, and that's as simple as that. Then you're done. So it's not a big equipment. And coming from a radio background, we used to have big machines and stuff and create radio. And now, look how simple it's become. So technology has just enabled us to be able to do amazing stuff with very little. And you can go live on different platforms. I mean, I made it simple. I can make it sophisticated by having more cell phones go live on Instagram, go live on Facebook, go live on TikTok, and pre-record for YouTube. So, I mean, it's never been able to be done like that before.
Yeah.
You know, so technology has really made it easy. So, thank you very much for sharing your story, man.
For having me.
This was so nice,
I'm really happy that I came through, and you give me your time as well. You know, now I see that's how easy it is to have this. Tomorrow I'm having it. Tomorrow I'll be saying to you, like, hey, dude, come and see this. Exactly.
Start with the little ones.
Exactly.
Tell me your story.
I get to the heights. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I know, so she'll be the first entering in a guest.
Yeah, and a young man too.
Yeah. We actually are planning one where we're having this talk
mom
together.
and
Okay,
son.
about mom and son situation. Okay,
Yeah.
because he's open to that.
Really?
He's really, really, really open. I had to chat with him
dope.
to say, you know,
Yeah.
are you cool about talking about a few things? Like, yeah, no, I'm cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Look, my son and I are open, eh?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
as my
dope.
son and I are open. I don't want to lie. We talk. You know, there are things. Oh, when we went home, before we go, now we're leaving after this.
Okay.
When we went home, it's like, dude, we're going home. You're gonna be alone. It's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, this is before his aunt came. I'm like,
Yeah.
mama before my time. So it's like, I'm studying. He was writing exams. Like, I'm studying. I don't even have time for that. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you don't have time, but if you know possibilities, you can. It's like, no, mom, please. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I left him. My sister came like about 11, 12-ish. They're hanging before some so yeah, that's how we so that's how we are. So yeah, that's how we are. We joke about things.
It's beautiful, man.
We tease him a lot.
Yo, all right, sister, I really appreciate your time, and I think just my last closing comments for all the moms. I hope you've listened very attentively to the conversation, and I think your takeaways from this, Gyore, be open with your child, man. And I think what I pick up, Gyore, be open with your sons, be available with your sons, even though there are challenges with their father. Be there for your son, and don't try and be a man in a relationship. Continue to be a mom, and find father figures, whether kiko skela, whether kiko sports, whether kiko kerekeng, whatever it is. There are always available good guys out there. Not all of us are bad guys, and there are some good guys who are willing to be not the father in them, but somebody along with an advisor and mentor. So please don't lose hope in your child, and don't lose hope in your sons, because I know so many single moms who are having it hard, like you, one of the few, and I know that are not complaining who are sons. So a lot of moms are finding it very hard, and teenage sons are even more difficult because of the exposure of alcohol, drugs, sex, you name it. And because they are growing, they want to experiment. And again, adolescence as well. So, to all the single moms, I wish you all the best. And may God be with you, man. Trust in Him first.
Yeah.
And continue to empower yourself and to empower your sons. And and don't also compare them.
Yes. Because
that kills. Because remember, they are boys. We've got egos. So don't destroy their egos while they are still small as well. So make sure you are more supportive, more caring, more loving. And if you can crack a whip, please do also. Because, my mom used to show me playing.
No, I never did. I did the timeouts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, the timeouts worked for us.
Oh, yeah?
Until...
but it's that generation. So, now my generation, there was no timeout. There was no gossip, no connect.
Count to 20 or 100.
Oh, get teen stuff.
Whatever she saw in front of her.
Man. So, but big ups to my mom. She's the best, man. I love her to bits. And thank you so much for liking, for sharing, and continue to follow and tell everybody about this. All right, man. We out.
Thank you. Bye.